clarification versus consolation. You know, so much of what's done on this planet is consolation because this is the social norm. Even people doing good things for other people, because it makes them feel good, can in some other ways keep them from growing. It's just what you're going for is clarification. What's the true thing going on? To look at it constantly from that higher perspective. And if you play that game and you get caught into a spiritual ego that goes along with that, that catches you just as more potently, more subtly than even physical ego. Because as you start working with some of these other dimensions, like I talked about, geometry in the physical dimension is the language of this dimension. The more that language reflects the highest dimensional levels, the level of the causal, the level where prime cause comes from, the more sacred I feel it is. And that's where sacred geometry comes from. When you're really working with geometries and number that are reflective of being in flow, that are not restricting that flow of energy coming through. Because you see, as energy from the higher dimensional levels starts coming through each dimension of our being, it wants to create resonance. It wants to have that aspect of our being resonate with it. So that's happening on the emotional level, which is right next to the body. That's the gatekeepers. That's why the emotions are so important to start to get under control and to bring through the higher aspects of what we call emotions, which I really refer to as divine feelings. You know, there's a difference between an emotion that we emote from here and a divine feeling that we're tuning into from the higher levels. We feel both of them in our bodies. So we got to be connected to our bodies. We can't spend all our time up in our heads. And yet, this is where the language that's going on in the fifth dimension starts happening in the mental level. And it's working with sound. That's why I'm up here right now and I'm flapping my lips and these tones are coming out and something's going into you where it goes, hey man, I'm understanding that. You know, there's stuff flowing. You know, there's things going on. There's things happening. And it's always sound. And you can use sound in a very divine way to start creating that higher flow of energy. And you can work with light on some of the higher dimensional levels. So they all have languages, the dimensions, and you can learn to work with them.